Let me ask you a question. How many tennis balls can you fit into a bus? Okay, one more. Pink elephant. Share your thoughts. Okay, I'll ask you an easier one. How many traffic lights are red at this very moment in the city today? Okay, one more comes to mind. What is the color of success or smell of failure? Strange questions, right? Have you ever been in a position where you've been asked questions which made no sense? Maybe in a job interview, or maybe in an academic selection process, or maybe at work or personal life. And the answers to these questions mattered because maybe your selection depends on it, or maybe your admission depends on it, or your reputation. So just saying simply, I don't know, is really not an option. And to stay quiet doesn't seem right. So what do? Today, the story that I bring to you is a story that comes from the court of Indian Emperor Akbar and his favorite minister, Birbal. Birbal was very popular for his wit, wisdom. He was considered one of the 9 jewels or Navratna of Akbar's court. And he was once asked such question. And today's story is exactly about that. How he handled that question, which actually had no answer to begin with. So what are we waiting for? Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Tuti, that is YOLO, and you're watching
The Story Show. The tales say more than they seem.
One day, all the ministers of Akbar's court, they approached the king with a complaint. They said, Your Majesty, every time you have a problem, you always go to Birbal. You should give us also a chance. Akbar replied, that's because Birbal has an answer to every question. He has a solution for every problem. The ministers weren't too happy. They said, but you should at least give us a chance. And then Akbar saw that Birbal was actually approaching them. So he said, okay, today I'm going to give you all a chance. As soon as Birbal joined them, Akbar looked up in the sky and said, how many crows are there in my city? Tell me. Now the ministers were looking at each other in dismay. There is no way they can answer that question because if they start counting the number of crows, it's going to take them years. And even then, they can never come up with the number because crows don't stay in one place. They keep flying away. So they looked at the king and said, Your Majesty, that's a question even Birbal cannot answer. So Akbar looked at Birbal. Birbal responded, Your Majesty, there are 300,921 crores to be exact. Akbar was shocked and so were the ministers on this very prompt and confident reply from Birbal. Akbar said, Birbal, in case you are wrong, you are going to be severely punished. Birbal said, no, Your Majesty, I'm very confident about this number. So Akbar was confused. He said, what if there are more number of crows than what you claim? Birbal said, oh, those crows are the one who have been actually visiting us from our neighboring cities to come and meet their friends and relatives. Obviously, I could not add them to my count. And then Akbar said, what if there are fewer number of crows than what you claim? Birbal replied, those are the crows that have actually gone to our neighboring cities to visit their friends and relatives. Obviously, I had to include them in my count. Now, everybody was shocked to hear this answer. The ministers, while they were sulking in silence, Akbar looked at them and said, this is the reason why I say Birbal always has an answer for every question. Then Akbar laughed, the ministers followed because everybody realized that Birbal had done something extraordinary. He had answered a question that really did not have any answer. Interesting part is, Birbal did not lie, he did not guess, he did not even escape. You are right, he did none of those. Instead, he displayed awareness. Awareness of what? Awareness of the situation. Because remember, not all questions are meant to be answered with facts. Some simply test your thinking. And then you have to respond. You can either freeze, you can fake, or you can use the power of wit to reframe the situation, just like what Birbal did, because that is what he was best known for. So next time when you find yourself in a similar situation with such a question, don't rush to find an answer. Simply find the right way to respond. Because wisdom is not about always being right. It's about being ready. That's the story for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Do let me know in the comment section that what are such impossible questions that you have ever come across. Until the time we meet next again, remember to like, to share and to subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.